Their Niagara Falls or does it? And the authors are Henry Winkler and Lynn Oliver.
So the characters in this book are Hank Sipser, who is the main protagonist. There's Frankie Townsend, main protagonist. Ashley Wong, main protagonist. Frankie and Ashley are both Hank's best friends. There's Papa Pete, who is Hank's grandpa, who is the protagonist. There's Carlos, who's the protagonist. There's Fern, who's the protagonist. Mr. Rock, the protagonist.
He's the one who helps Hank's parents to see that Hank learns in a different way.
Stanley Zipser, dynamic.
And he is Hank's dad.
Emily, dynamic, who is Hank's sister.
Yeah, she's Hank's sister.
Robert Upchurch, dynamic, who is Hank's, Frankie's, and Ashley's friend. Miss Adolph, antagonist, who is Hank's teacher.
He's really hard on him.
Nick McKelvey, he's an antagonist. He's the bully at school. And
He's like getting two shoes kids up.
exactly.
Principal Love,
Antagonist.
he's the one who gives Hank detention for 2 weeks because he tried to do a project.
And failed miserably. The setting in this novel, Miss Adolph's classroom, Principal Love's office, Mr. Rock's music room, Hank's apartment, the clubhouse in the basement of the apartment building, the school's cafeteria, the bowling alley, and Hank's room.
So, the magic show, which is the scene that we did our play on, that takes place in the bowling alley. Most of the projects and the learning takes place in Miss Adolph's classroom. Principal Love's office is where Hank. Principal Love's office is where Hank gets grounded, gets detention, and is always in trouble. And Mr. Rock's music room is where Hank goes when he gets detention with Miss Adolph, but Miss Adolph isn't here, so he has to go to Mr. Rock's music room.
Okay, plot line. So the beginning of the book starts with Hank Zipser's first day at his new school, and as his luck would have it, he gets the worst teacher in the whole school. And for their first day, they have to do a 5-paragraph essay on what they did during summer vacation. This is on the sides. At the end of the day, they go to a bowling alley where Papa Pete, their grandfather, asked them to do a magic show, and that's how they form Magic 3. And he goes back home, and he starts to write about Niagara Falls, and he realized that he can't get anything done. So he has the great idea to build Niagara Falls instead of write about it. So him and his friends built Niagara Falls using tubing made out of cardboard and just rocks and like paper mache. And then he goes to school with his project, and he used saran wrap cardboard tubes to pump the water from the sink over the falls. And if you've never done plumbing, that's not the best idea. So the tubes explode and water goes everywhere, and the whole classroom has like a foot of water. So Principal Love gives him detention for 2 weeks, and that is like crossing into his time for where he has to perform his magic show, and he also gets grounded for 2 weeks from his dad. So they beg his father for a few chapters in the book to see if they can perform the magic show, and his Mr. Rock is the person who he is doing performing detention with. So Mr. Rock goes to their house and he tells his Hank Zipser's dad that he learns in a different way than everybody else. So and after a lot of begging, the father lets them perform the magic show at the bowling alley, and the book ends with the magic show being completed.
Okay, so for the character analysis, I decided to do it on Hank. So Hank is clever, he's lazy and creative. So he's clever because when he realizes that he can't write about Niagara Falls because he has difficulties writing and explaining himself, he decides he's going to build Niagara Falls, which I probably wouldn't be able to do, and he finds out ways to do it. He's lazy because even when he's bored, like during parts of the story, like he has nothing to do, and he's done his, because he's grounded, right? In his homework, he doesn't do much of anything, even though he has his homework, so he just doesn't do his homework. And he's creative because for the Niagara Falls project, he decided to build it, and that shows his creativity because he thought that he was never going to be able to complete his assignment, but building Niagara Falls is probably easier for him than writing it.
The quotes from the book. Always be on time when time is involved. Principle love. Every child's brain is wired differently. Mr. Rock. You have so much trouble with so many things, but never with your mouth. It's a brilliant mouth. Frankie. Take pickles. There are big ones and little ones, smooth ones and humpy ones, very crunchy ones and not so crunchy ones. There are bread and butter pickles, gherkins, hamburger slices, half dills, full dills. Papa Pete. And different kids learn in different ways. I know that because I myself had difficulty in school, Mr. Rock. And you sound just like my father. He's always telling me to look up words in the dictionary. Thank you.
Who does
Whoa.
that? Who's that?
Which one, the last quote?
No, who said you sound like my father, who's always telling me?
Hank.
Reflection. Why do we choose this book? We chose this book because the cover was the most interesting, and in 5th grade we read this book with Madame Monet, but we never finished it since it was the end of the year, so we decided to finish it. We rated this book 2.5 stars, 2.5 out of 5 stars because it wasn't the most adventurous book and interesting book ever. Like it's a really short book and I didn't really like it.
Like the school life. Boring.
Our favorite part of the book was when Hank's essay went wrong and the pipe broke. It was funny when the author described how the principal walked in and slipped and embarrassed himself in front of all the kids in the class. Least favorite part of the book was when Hank got detention for 2 weeks. He was also grounded for the same time. We didn't like that part because it was the most boring part of the story where nothing happens.
Okay, no, don't read it. Okay, so 3 gifts that I'd like to give Hank.
We recommend this book to grade maybe 2 to 5 because it's a really easy book.
And that's why
It's
he
really
read his
easy
read
to
it in grade
understand. And
Okay, so for the 3 gifts, I would give Hank a dictionary so he could actually look up words because he has trouble spelling words. Like he doesn't know how to spell magic, which is spelled M-A-G-I-C. So he spelled it M-A-G-I-K, and so that's the way they spelled it for their magic show name.
He's a smart fellow.
Yes, he is. I'd give him an essay with an A+ on it so that he wouldn't have failed his project, which he did do because he was supposed to write it down and not like build it, but not visually. So he failed that essay, and so I would give him a new essay, which is typed out good. Okay, I would give him an iPad to do research on Niagara Falls or on anything else. It also has like, because you can do research and you can go on the dictionary online, because this dictionary doesn't always have everything. And I would also give it to Hank because he has difficulty writing. So if he typed it out, it would be easier for him.
And autocorrect. And there's also autocorrect.
Okay.
My amazing acting skills.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest magic show on the planet. And here comes our magician, Frankie Townsend.
Hello, senior bowlers of New York. Today I welcome you to the amazing acts of Magic 3. For my first act, I will take a string, cut it, and then attach it back together. It has no tricks, it's just an ordinary string. I will now pull the bottom of the string to the top. I'm not cutting anything. Cute. Let's just shake off these extra. So it's just the hoop. So tie that together. That's good. Voila! The string's back together. It's magic. Whoa. Just slide it. Made a point from an audience.
Choose me!
I got my hanky dandy pencil and a cowboy. This isn't the checkbook.
These are perfectly real pencils and coins.
Thank you. And now, check. 3, 2. My coin! Act. I will pull a small light fairy wig out of my hat. System, would you hold this for me? Zangawi. And just
Penguin! It's a penguin!
And that concludes it, ladies and gentlemen, for our Magic 3 act.
I'm out. Now that's the greatest appearing act ever.
Why do you...
okay, I keep. It's a fun card. Okay, I got it. Which button?
The talk button. Good job.
It's an ordinary string, no tricks. Okay, I'll just pull the top up, so equal. Cut the string, assistant. Okay. And now I will shake off the extra. Now, would you mind tying it back together for me?
We actually have like 200 bloopers, but we couldn't put them all in because they would take an hour.
Thank God.
Yeah. A girly slumped public and dancing.
Good job, kids! Okay, guys, wait, I'm not done. I'm not done with the part.
Guys, we've been patient all this time.
So you guys stopping me.
So guys, do you want me to stop the
I
recording?
have better prizes.
Guys, do I stop the recording?
Okay, so who was paying attention during your book report?
Not me!
Okay, those of you. No, I'm doing it.